What's up guys, DJ Bone here, and today we're going to be talking about sub bass in your DAW. What we want to do is try to be able to have sub bass go on all different types of speakers. And to do that, you want to have certain settings placed, mainly post-processing and choosing the right synth, choosing the right wavetable. So normally in Ableton here, I have myself a little rack that I built here, and by default I normally do a dedicated sub, just something that I named it. I use 2 sine waves, the sub, and that's pretty much it. I have some stuff going on here, you know, like harmonizing, but just to try to bring out the transients. But today what we're going to be doing is we're going to start one from scratch. So we're going to go here, MIDI track, and we're just going to grab, you can use any synth that you want. I'm just going to bring in Serum. And normally what I do is, like I said, I just go into analog and just go to basic shapes. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the difference between choosing the right waveform, the wavetable. So when doing this one, if I use the key D, and I go up the scale, depending on what speaker setup you're using, you might be able to hear that, you might not. And if I go even lower than that, another octave, you probably can't hear that unless you're using the right type of speakers. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix that. Instead of using a sine wave, what you want to use is a triangle wave right here. So as you can see, some more harmonics start to come into play, but yet your low end is still there. So now after that part's done. What we're going to do is we're going to start doing some post-processing effects, and normally what I like to do for this, just your basic stock plugins, compressor, so that no matter what note you hit, it will be compressed to try to play all around the same level. So I'll change the threshold just to where it's touching. So as you can see, just doing that right there is bringing out the harmonics in the triangle waveform. So then after that, normally what I'll do, that I've done in the past anyways, is I'll bring in an EQ and I'll just cut off about that much, okay? And that works fine, but in theory, if you were to bring these in by default, let's bring 2 of them in, and all we're going to do is do a low pass and a high pass. So if we do a low pass, and we bring it into, say, here, and we do a high pass, the same thing, and bring it into right there around 115K, you'll notice, here, let me put this one on the other side. You'll notice that the way that these dip down, even if you choose the hardest curve, that you're still losing a little bit from one to the other, which is fine, but in order to make that a lot better so that you get the exact frequency range that you're looking for the low end, is to bring in a default Multiband Dynamics. And then as you can see in the lows here, it's already chose 120 Hertz. So then you just solo that one out, and there you go. If I go up an octave, that way it's just cutting that frequency to that point, and you're all set there. Then after that, what I like to do is I like to bring in the Saturator, just to bring out the harmonics even more. And normally I'll use this one here, Sinoid, if that's how you pronounce it correctly. I'll bring in the soft clip. Soft clip makes it so that if you're pushing too much, it will bring it down. And then if you want to give it a little bit more oomph, you'll play with the drive. As you can see, that's a little overkill there, but usually I'll do between 1 and 3, 1 and 4, give or take. So let's just say 3. So if you're listening on a mobile device, laptop speakers, etc., you should be hearing this by now. And there you are. And then after that, I like to send the signal to mono because you don't want this going in stereo. So once again, stock plugin, I'll go to utility. And now for the longest time, I would just click mono and just make it straight mono, which is fine because it does do what it's supposed to do. Puts it in the center of your stereo. But lately, I've been choosing bass mono, and there's your 120 again, and I'll change that to 220. And the reason why I do that is even though over here in the Multiband Dynamics, I'm choosing 120, I'm bringing back out the frequency range to 220, which will bring in a little bit of the mids harmonics. And then after that, you just do your gain staging and you are good to go. So as you can see, we're going about, we'll call that what? -3. And that's fine. But when you are writing a song, you want to have it somewhere in the -12 range so that you are not clipping in the master of what you are creating. And that, my friends, is how you do a sub bass to work on all different types of speakers. I'm DJ Bone. Until next time, peace!